I think everybody's here, so let's go to our bylaws. Second reading of North Headgates. Anybody want to make a motion for that one? Clarence, excuse me.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. And a motion for third reading. Brian moves. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. And our tax rates also need second and third reading. Lionel? Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. And for third reading, Kelly moves. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Got through our RCMP reports, and so that takes us to item 9.2. Oh no, that's Raymond's. That's for 130. We can probably handle that without planning staff, I think. We'll get her done. It's just
I'll make the move to make the subdivision extension.
okay. Clarence is going to make the motion to extend 12A 144 subdivision approval extension. Brian?
I'm just curious which conditions are outstanding.
We might have to get staff in then. Okay.
Yes, because the new house is built, and so I'm just curious what
You'll agree to it, so no matter what they are, right?
No pressure there.
Well, I was just thinking we could move on. Like, I mean, we can't. Yeah. You can get your answers after the question.
I'm not supposed to vote on it with all the information and not in front of me.
You just get through this, but Brian had to ask a tough question.
And I wanted to see you run for us, run.
I said, oh, we can do this without the planning staff.
Well, normally I would, but I happen to know this property a little bit. I know the house is there, and I'm pretty sure they're living in it already, so I was just curious what conditions are outstanding.
In this one, I think that they've had a problem getting some of the consents to register. So Cam Christensen, as the surveyor or agent on behalf of the applicants, that's normally what he runs into. So whether or not he got delayed getting some of the consents that are required to register, that's the only thing I know. I don't think there's anything that it's like an applicant's issue. It's more of a survey issue.
Anything else? all in favor of the motion?
I have such little power. I figured the one time I get it, I should take advantage of it.
They were just saying that they should just make it so that only I know what it was. The sound, people complaining about not being able to hear again in our council chambers. And after today, again. So, and they said often they can't hear you ladies, and some of the people who say, you know, if you're a little bit deaf and do a little bit of lip reading, are hooped for you guys. So I said I'll have to add to my list of things to remind people of is to speak closely in the mic for a start anyhow, or to help people. So then there was the conversation about maybe they should just say that only I can speak. So there you go. That's the way lunch has gone. Thanks, ladies. I don't think there's anything else, is there, for you guys? All right. Okay, submitting a letter of interest. Municipal Community Generation Challenge Program. I'm losing track of all these programs.
That's actually one that would be somewhat connected with Ray's presentation, and would
okay.
like to deal with Ray's first and then come back to this one.
Okay, that's good. Annual report for our information, basically. Yeah. Any craziness in it that you saw? Ellen?
I wonder on page 7, at the bottom, I thought it was a little bit confusing, the yellow part, that that it's mandatory, the ICFs, and it's sort of been lumped together with the, let me see here, the regional working group, but I found it a bit confusing that amalgamation is not mandatory, that it's not in there.
Page 7, the yellow part, okay. It's a concern, Ellen, now that I'm reading it.
The working group is not just concerned with the ICFs, correct? And they are mandatory. The working group is also doing the regionalization / perhaps amalgamation. And I just found it confusing. It looks here that that's all lumped together.
Is it just the last paragraph? Or in the first paragraph you're talking about?
Nowhere does it say that the working group, that's not mandatory. The ICFs are mandatory, and it's not the working group. Obviously, they're working on that somewhat, but they're working more on regionalization. Are they not?
County Council. The whole thing? Doesn't matter to me. I didn't put it in. So.
I just found it so confusing.
Well, either that or...
Kelly?
Either that or make 2 paragraphs, because we are spending a lot of time and energy on both ICFs and the working group, but just make 2 paragraphs, one specific about RWG and then the other one about ICFs, and indicate that the ICF is mandatory by the deadline. I would think that would be good information for ratepayers to read.
Yeah, and I think I'd just make a suggestion. We could just pull this out and put it in for this year because we didn't really do much in 2018 on this process.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, this is, okay. Sure. All right. Anything else? All right. Councillor payment sheets, compensation review. Trace. You going to move that?
Yes, I'll move with amendments.
I thought maybe
Amendments
you had a
by.
question.
No, I didn't have a question.
Okay. Perfect. Approval with amendments. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Checks for payment. There are none. Payment register, direct debit and the payment register. Any questions? No questions? If not, can we get a motion? Lionel? Thanks, Lionel. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Functions of council. Lane.
Alice had been registered to attend the CPA conference in Red Deer next week, but because of her situation health-wise, she's not able to go. And wondering if there's a member of council that would like to go in her place. Shanley is going. I know that Anne Marie has attended it in the past when she was involved with MPC, and I'm just wondering if there is somebody else that's interested in taking her registration.
What is it?
It's the Association of Planning. It's the annual planning conference is what it is. And it is in Red Deer.
What days?
I think it's the 29th, 30th, and the 1st. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, we have a regionalization meeting on the 1st always. Has Anne-Marie's our deputy chair, right? I wonder if Anne-Marie would be.
She's going.
Oh, she's going. Oh, okay, gotcha. So it's just a matter of making use of the.
Correct. Making use of the registration. It's already been submitted.
But the hotels and stuff like that could be canceled, right? Yes. So maybe just, yeah, let her spend a bit of money and have to spend more money. Go. Jeff? Yeah, is he away? Might be back. Jeff? No?
I think I asked Alice about that, and she discussed it with him. He's got a conflict as well.
Okay. All right. Committee reports. Newell Foundation. Is that Hubie? For Asha, for the conference, yeah.
Looking to lease one of those in Bassano. One's open for that. So you just check out that sheet I handed out there. And I was going to bring up one more session that we took at the ASHA convention. It was, I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. John Brown is the architect from Calgary. His creation is called Garden Loft Living. And what they are is a small 450 square foot home attached to an existing home for the elderly to live with their family or loved ones close by in the same yard. And they got a project going on this summer in Grand Prairie. They're going to set up 18 of them. So if you'd like to look that up on the internet, it shows all the information about those little homes. And I think it's, to lease them is $2,000 a month. And they're built with all the medical facilities within the unit. So if they need any of that to assist in their living, it's all built with all that in it. So if you're interested, check it out.
What's his name, Hubie?
John Brown.
I think I'd need, there'd be a lot of John Browns would come up, I bet. University of Calgary?
Yep, that's right. and it's called Garden Loft Homes.
Garden law.
Yeah.
So Ron Wixon was talking about
Yes,
it
yeah.
too. It sounded intriguing.
Yep, it's interesting. It's good. And that's my report for Newell Foundation.
All right, recreation boards. Is that Kelly or Trace?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of bring up some kind of fun, different little things that we discussed at our last Parks and Rec. Well, Jason Thomas came to us for his proposals for the batting cages and the renovations and whatnot for the ballparks, and our board recommended that it be looked at by City Council, so it's gone to them now. They're going to be putting in some edible garden at Lake Stafford, and this is going to be a berry place, all different sorts of berries and fruit trees or whatever, I guess, around the lake area there. So they're going to start on that this year, and I think it's they've gotten some support from EcoBrooks and through the 4-H Foundation or something, and they're going to have some helpers from the 4-H clubs that are going to help kind of get it set up. So that was pretty neat. There's setting new software that you can go on and do online registrations for the rec facilities. So that's something new that they're implementing. May 1st, that will start. They're actually looking at doing an expansion already at the JBS Center for the daycare part of it, that they have just a waiting list for service and it's not big enough to handle. So they're looking at doing a 1,200-foot square expansion for the daycare in there. So that's kind of neat that it's that well used. They're getting a new diving board put in. And Lionel, do you remember how much it was? $25,000 for the diving board. But it hasn't been replaced ever, I don't think. Like, this is the first time, but it was kind of shocking that. So that just goes to show you with recreation sometimes that, like, one diving board is that much money. So that's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah. And they're starting on the construction of the elevator at the Community Cultural Center building. So that's, and that's going to take a long time too, and it goes one floor, but it's crazy the expense that's going into it and the length of time that it's going to take to install it. And that's about it. That's all we did.
I tried to send you guys earlier this week a PDF file on NRTA notes, and there was pages and pages, and I'm sure you didn't want to look at them all. So I tried to edit it, and it didn't work. And according to Bernie, it was my iPad. I should have used my computer. And so I just sent it to you. So I'm a little bit late on that. Sorry about that. But I finally can figure it out now, how to do it.
Tomorrow we have a Southeast Mayors and Reeves meeting, which has been, we haven't met for quite some time, so that will be good. And I think there's also a PEP board meeting at the same time tomorrow or after. And it's been a quiet couple of weeks, and I think at our last meeting we talked a little bit about some of the, we were together a lot the week of the April 8th, and then I've hardly seen anybody since the 25th. So if there's anything else that people have been up to, feel free. Again, thank you to all of you who came out to GEM. It was really a small community event, and excuse me, really nice to see you all there, for sure. All right, we will go on to a request for proclamation. Oh, thank goodness Anne Marie isn't here. For National Public Works Week. We can sneak it by her. Would somebody make Brian? Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. We pretty much have to do this one.
Excuse me,
Oh,
could I suggest that we put Anne Marie by that motion?
yeah, you could suggest it. Okay, other stuff. Other stuff is just sort of updating, and so I guess we can go into camera and let, is that, once Raymond gets here, we'll flip back. Oh, Lionel, sorry, did I miss you?
Well, it's just the NJAC
Oh, yes, thank you.
tournament is coming up on the 11th, and a couple of the councillors sort of suggested that we have a welcoming committee for the teams as they come in, which is a little bit difficult to coordinate because they come in at different times. But there was some suggestion that maybe some councillors could be there at whenever they do arrive. And I think we're going to get Jessica or Lisa will organize it and let us know those times. So if anybody wants to participate and show up and just to say hello and whatnot for the teams as they come in.
So Lionel, would this be at the arena or at the airport?
Probably at their hotels.
Oh, at
as
their
they
hotels.
arrive into Brooks. I don't think they'll be coming to the arena initially.
No, I wouldn't
They'll be
think so
coming to their
either.
hotel, and it's just a meet and greet sort of thing, and say hello and welcome to the community.
Yeah, cool. Brian?
There's a meeting tonight at 6 for the volunteers, and maybe there'll be more information and I'd be happy to share it. I'm volunteering for the transportation part of it. I'm driving a bus in the mornings most days. So anyways, if there's sort of a coordination that comes out of that, I can certainly pass it along. And, I'll if it's okay with Lionel and the rest of you, I'll offer hospitality type things like Lionel's speaking about and see if that fits within the program as far as the volunteer base.
Sounds like a great plan. Ellen?
Just to add to that, I understand that we're going to hand out, whoever's going to be there is going to hand out a little package, perhaps with a t-shirt and a coupon book or whatever it may be, just a welcome gift. And it could be at the hotel, but I understand some may be at the arena as well. But again, they're going to, it could be in the middle of the night when they come on. And one more thing I thought was interesting. They have too many volunteers. There's a waiting list to be a volunteer for this event. I thought that was fascinating.
That's great. For those of us that might feel a little guilt about not being one, that's good news.
Wouldn't want to exacerbate the problem.
But Brian, that would be great, like if you can let us know, and tonight if there is stuff that we can become involved in too. I think that's important, certainly. Feel free to include us or use us to do stuff. So, and that starts on the
11th.
11th. Yeah. Yes, the 10th. All right. Sorry, Lionel, for almost forgetting that. So as soon as we move into camera, I'm sure Raymond will show up, but unless there's something else you have to talk about, I think that we've made it through our meeting. Okay, so sure. Okay, Brian's going to move us in. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried.